All right, first play from scrimmage for Virginia Tech. We see FSU in their base set. Looks like cover four here. First trips. Virginia Tech's going to throw the ball out to the flat. And Woodby does a good initial job attacking the blocker, but he needs to attack his outside pad a little better and get it turned back into Westbrook there, but instead he gives up the outside. Next play, they just basically flip it and do the same thing to the left. The offense is left. This time, it's actually Westbrook who's at fault here. Again, you want Woodby to fight through the outside pad of that blocker there at the top, and then Westbrook can run the alley to the inside, but instead, Westbrook runs to the outside and creates that crease. It's his job to fit off of Woodby. So he needs to actually just be a little more patient. Woodby does a pretty good job of turning that inside there, but again, it's there for the receiver to see it because of Westbrook's angle. All right, this is pretty interesting. This is just opening script for Virginia Tech, so they feel like they've got some plays that are going to work pretty well. And here they put a tight bunch to the right, and they're actually going to pull two linemen to the right to lead on the handoff. So they get outnumbered here. FSU does a little bit. Um, and actually, D-Jack here could be a little quicker to read the puller. So he's going to see the center. Center turns to D-Jack's right. And then D-Jack should also see those pullers through his peripheral and start to scrape to his left. It's not actually that bad of a job by D-Jack. You can see number 6, the receiver, is cracking. And we should see the safety up a lot quicker, but he's not even in the screen. So there he comes in late. He actually, once he decides to come, he gets there pretty quick. So that's good. You've got that 9-man box that you talk about with quarters. This is what it looks like. All 7 guys are occupied, but with the safeties reading run to pass, they are there to make the tackle within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. All right, 20 personnel again for Virginia Tech. Another handoff. This is more of a split zone play. Offensive line, inside zone to the right, and the H-back is going to block back on the DN. Excuse me. And this is some confusion by the linebackers. I mean, clearly, they might have a cross linebacker blitz here, and they're just slow to do it. That's got to be what Adonis is thinking at the least. You can see he steps way to his right, even though with his pre-snap alignment, he should have B-gap responsibility. But something that Barnett likes to do is take the middle D tackles and slant them both to the outside, and then take those 2 inside backers and cross them and blitz them through the A gaps. And then the safety right behind them will fit off of them. So it's an aggressive call, it's a run blitz call. And sometimes you can give up a gap in the middle with it, but that's why you use that safety to correct it. But here, D-Jack doesn't seem to get the call, and they're both just slow to fit. So there's the space, and Homsick can't finish. It's kind of a theme for him. He's still missing some tackles, especially when they call this cross blitz. If their offensive line is able to pick up those 2 backers, sometimes, like I said, there can be a hole there, and it's on that safety to fit. He's reading run to pass, so he should be up. He is, but he's late, and because of that, he misses. Okay, next play, 1st and 10. They're driving. Eleven personnel. It's a tray formation. They're going to play action. They're playing with the star here. So in this look with the back to the star, he's going to read the mesh point. So they're showing run. The star would-be will step forward, which gives them room to pull and throw to this leaking tight end. Would-be actually does a really good job here where he has a hard responsibility. He's stepping in to play the run, but he's able to collision that tight end on the release, throw him off his track just enough to make the quarterback hesitate. And you can see Burns is getting upfield and he's there quick to disrupt the throw. I'm looking at this now too. This is something where they had a field pressure called. So not only would be normally he would be would be normally he reads the mesh, but it looks like here they're actually sending him on a blitz. So that's a very timely call for Virginia Tech. But Woodby does enough to delay it, and Burns disrupts it to make a nice play. Back to 20 personnel. And all night, this was where Virginia Tech felt they had the greatest chance to make some progress in the run game. To the boundary, we have this open B gap, which is Adonis Thomas' responsibility. And then you have the safety as the overhang defender to come up and run support. Virginia Tech would take this H-back and insert him into the B gap, which creates an extra gap that the defense has to account for. We can account for that with the safety. He's got to be up quick. Virginia Tech knows that, so they're going to take the receiver and crack the safety, which then puts the responsibility on the corner to see the crack release by the receiver, come off the receiver, and play the run. Let's see how this unfolds. There's the H-back inserting. Jaime needs to set the edge and close that space here. You can see he's way too high. He needs to play low so he has better leverage to not give up ground with this tackle trying to block him out. Adonis does a good job. He makes contact with the H-back with his outside pad on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage to spill this to the outside where, like I mentioned, the safety should be there. You can see that the corner's already in position to crack him. Humps is late to the party. And we should see Taylor up and fitting off of this. But he's late as well. So get used to a lot of teams doing this to the boundary because it's a good look and it's a tough ask for the corner to come off there on the crack. But FSU will get better at defending it. The corner will get better at recognizing it. And actually get better at it in this game as it goes on. And we'll see Barnett starts to play some different games to the boundary. Like he's going to eventually move the front to its left here, put the 3-tech over here. Or he'll start to blitz the corner and knife this defensive end into the B gap. So some different things to switch up the looks, get a little more aggressive, or get another guy to that gap quicker. So sorry for the longer breakdown on that, but it's something we're going to continue to see through the game. Again, Virginia Tech wanted to attack the perimeter early on, get their quarterback in a rhythm, and also test us on the edge. Knowing there's a true freshman out there, really good job by Woodby. All right, so you see him this time taking on the blocker with his inside pad and turning it back inside. Westbrook's running inside it out. I'd like to see a little bit better angle so that they can't cut back on him. He does avoid getting beat, but it's close. So it's little things, but you can see Westbrook has already got his shoulders parallel to the sideline. You want to see him more square so that when he comes in to break the tackle, he's in a better position to not get cut back on. If we go back to the snap here, um, it looks like FSU's actually rolling to a cover three look. Yep. So Westbrook is rolling to the middle of the field, which is really a tougher ask for him here to get back to the field. So it's not your traditional quarters look for FSU once the ball snapped. So a great time to talk about that too. Pre-snap, it looks like it's probably cover four, but FSU does a great job disguising. It's one of the big takeaways from this game is that FSU can really disguise things. They're going to start 90% of things in a too high look, but they can roll and do a lot of different stuff out of it. And that's one of the things they did here. Didn't help them much here, but it's something to keep an eye on. All right, so this is going to be the jet sweep to the boundary that busts. That I believe Herbstreit was really dogging on Adamas here. And to be honest, I don't believe it's totally on him. I don't know the call, and I don't know exactly what they're telling the backers to do here. So I'm going to give my educated opinion. It's quarters look. They are in an over front to the field, so you do have this open B gap to the boundary that is Thomas' responsibility. You have the overhang player and Hamza safety spot. Now with the jet motion, you'll see Woodby has already started to inch back into the box. Makes me think maybe the backers should bump versus this look. I might be wrong there. As the ball snapped, Aime shoots inside. Later on in the game, you'll see him not do that. You'll see him stay to the outside as the contain guy, which makes me think that this is more on him than it is Adonis. Because as you can see, they both go inside the H-back. So it's one or the other. Adonis has the B gap here. So it makes me think it's on Aime. Regardless, if Aime did step out here, VT still has numbers unless you get something up here quicker from your safety. Again, Humps is kind of slow. He steps back a few steps at the snap, which is not what you're looking for, especially with jet action. His number two receiver is this H-back to his side. Sorry. Is this H-back. So he's reading him. As soon as he steps out, Hamza should be making a flat foot read, and he should be up right away. Flat foot meaning he doesn't get any depth when the ball's snapped. He should be flat footed, not moving, reading that H-back. You can see he shows a run block right away. He should be coming forward. So in the play that Herbstreit dogged on Thomas, I'm going to put it more on Aime and then Hamza being slow to the ball. You can see again, VT does try to come off and crack. Pretty good job by Myers there to replace. It's a late crack. 20 personnel again from Virginia Tech. Looks like base quarters from FSU. Really impressive play by Woodby. So over front, D-Jack, the middle linebacker, has the play side A gap. Again, Woodby is reading the mesh point because he has the running back to his side. So when he sees handoff, he's stepping in and playing the run. There's an H-back to his side as well. So he is going to take that inside C gap. You can see Burns is initially aligned right outside the tackle. They play it a little differently because of the H-back. Burns' job is going to be to stay to the outside pad of 85 here, whereas Woodby will come inside. And it's a pretty long way to go for him, but he's athletic, fast, and he gets there quick. It's really a good job. And then again, you see the benefit of quarters having your safety near the line of scrimmage, reading run to pass as well. Thompson gets in there. Here's the touchdown. Something Virginia Tech liked in their game plan in the red zone. Same look that they gained big yards on that jet sweep 2 plays earlier. They know they have one-on-one at the bottom of the screen, a big mismatch. Coach Barnett talked about Taylor needing to do a better job of winning at the line of scrimmage on this play. I don't see much he could do differently at the line of scrimmage on this one. I can only see it for a split second there, but he stays square. That's what you look for. Make him run around you. And you can see here he's actually in really good position. He's on his hip. The problem is he needs to know where he is on the end zone. So he gets to about the 5-yard deep spot in the end zone. And he's still pressing up against the receiver. He needs to get his feet under him a little better and anticipate that ball coming back behind him. So you like to see him get his feet under him a little bit here as the receiver slows down and play up and through his arms. All right, you're not looking back for the ball. You're judging everything based off the movement of the receiver. So you slow yourself down, know where you're at in the end zone, and expect it to be thrown behind you or in front of you. But as long as you keep that receiver on your hip, you can play it either way. Taylor just gets a little ahead of himself.